Hey guys, good morning. How are you? Good morning, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the class. Thank you for joining. Just bear with me. Voy a compartir acá, deme un momento.
Morning, teacher.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Give me one moment. Ay, chicos, give me one moment. I don't know why, porque se ha quedado como stuck. Se ha quedado esto que no me da la opción de abrir la presentación. Deme un momentito.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning. Welcome. Thank you for joining. So today we're going to study frequency adverbs, guys. Okay, we're going to study frequency adverbs and we're going to do some exercises, okay? Ya casi, ya casi. Lo siento, chicos, no sé qué le pasa a esto, pero se está tomando una eternidad abrir la presentación. Vaya, chicos, hoy sí. And I'm going to share my screen. Voy a compartir mi pantalla.
En la punta, así, panda, para abajo. Ajá.
There we go. Oh my goodness. I think, creo que ya muy pronto va a pedir actualización mi computadora porque está súper lento. Well, yeah, let's talk about what we did yesterday and todo lo que carga esto. Yesterday, guys, we were talking about questions, right? Questions with present simple, okay? So do you remember the two types of questions that we talked about yesterday? What are the two types of questions that we talked about?
Yes, no question.
Very good. One type is yes, no question. What is the second type?
Information question.
Information questions, right? Very good. Creo que un bebé está llorando. No sé el bebé de quién está llorando. Creo que era el de Rachel, porque ya lo pusimos ahí en mute. Pobre bebé. Vale, entonces, ¿qué dice acá en el chat? Dice, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry, Leila, to hear that. Que lo siento. Ojalá que se mejore. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to share my screen with you right now. There we go. So yes, no questions, what was one type? And then also we talked about a second type. What is the other type of question that we have?
Information question.
Information questions, okay? So what are the answers that I look for yes, no question? With yes, no questions, I'm sorry. I look for a yes or a no. Mhm. What about information questions? What do they look for? What do they look for? Details, muy bien, right? We look for details. We look for things that, for pieces of information. Muy bien, okay? So as I was saying before, today we are going to talk about adverbs of frequency. Do you remember the question that we asked to know frequency? Vamos a ver quién se acuerda. What is the question that we ask to ask for frequency?
How often?
How often? Very good, right? How often es con qué frecuencia, and then you continue with the question. For example, how often do you watch TV, right? How often do you watch TV? Guys, do you watch TV? Or not anymore?
Kind of.
Kind of, dicen por ahí. Okay, yes. Nowadays, people generally look at the cell phone on YouTube or Netflix or the different streaming platforms, right? So people do not watch TV any longer, right? So they prefer to watch movies in the computer or videos on the computer or on the cell phone, right? Now, what about this one? How often do you read? Okay. Do you like reading, guys?
No.
No. Okay. Yes. Well, actually, I like reading, but sometimes I don't have time, right? Because we have a lot of things to do. But if I ask you how often do you read? ¿Cómo contesto esas preguntas, right? So we're going to talk about adverbs of frequency to learn how to say that, ¿ok? Entonces, vamos a irles compartiendo siempre las cosas por acá. Aquí están ustedes. So I'm going to leave here the topic, right? And I'm going to share with you this information. Okay, so here we have the different adverbs of frequency, guys. Okay, so the first one, what is the first one? Look.
Always.
Always. Always mean 100%. For example, I always do the exercises in the platform. The platform, right? Mensaje subliminal, okay? So I always do, right, the exercises in the platform. I always study after school, right? Teacher, I always take a shower. So 100% of the time, 100%, right? Every single day, sin falta. Or teacher, I always have breakfast in the morning, right? Now, what is the second one, guys? What is the second one?
Usually.
Usually means 90% of the time. For example, I can say, I usually take the bus to work. Why usually? Because I work from Monday to Friday, digamos, right? So if I work from Monday to Friday, I'm going to use the transportation, right? So 90%, for example, from Monday through Friday, de lunes a viernes, ejemplo, right? So what about the next two? We have this one.
Normally.
General.
Very good. Normally or generally. Teacher, I normally have breakfast at home, but you know, sometimes it's very late and I have to go to whatever I have to go, right? Donde sea que tenga que ir. So teacher, I normally or I generally have breakfast at home. Okay. What about the next two? Look.
Often or
Frequency.
Bien, right? So we use often and frequently, right? We use often or frequently. So often, frequently is what we call in Spanish a menudo, right? So I sometimes use it when you talk about an activity that you don't do every day, right? But you do most of the time. Okay. Oh, I didn't read the examples. So, well, we're going to read the examples later. What about this one?
sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Very good. Sometimes mean 50% of the times, right? For example, I can say, teacher, I sometimes eat tortillas, right? Or tortillas, right? Teacher, I sometimes eat tortillas. So it means that generally, right, you eat your food without a tortilla or without buns. ¿Qué dijimos que eran buns? Do you remember?
Bollitos de pan.
Pollo.
Pollitos de pan. Very good, okay? Pollitos de pan, which in the end is the pan francés, right? What we call pan francés. What about the next one? What about the next one?
Occasionally.
Okay.
Occasionally.
Decimos occasionally, right? Occasionally. Occasionally es eso, ocasionalmente, right? Occasionally means 25% of the time. You know, teacher, I occasionally, had breakfast in a restaurant, right? Or hardly ever, right? Hardly ever and rarely. Hardly ever, rarely, right? This one is difficult, right? Rarely. Teacher, I hardly ever have breakfast in a restaurant, right? Teacher, I rarely go to a restaurant, right? And never means 0%. Nada de nada, right? Teacher, I never eat pacayas, right? Teacher, I never eat flor de isote. Ah, bien, me acuerdo de lo que me contaron. Teacher, I never drink carao juice, okay? No, teacher, that's not for me. Now, take a look at the examples, okay? So let's go ahead and review this one more time, okay? So can I have a volunteer to read the first one?
I always study after school.
Very good. And what is the percentage and the adverb frequency?
100% always.
Very good. Thank you. What about you, Rodrigo? Number the second one.
I usually walk on Friday, 90%, usually.
Thank you. Next.
I normally have lunch at noon. 80% normally, generally.
Generally. Okay, thank you. What about the next one? Hoy no veo volunteers. ¿Qué pasó con los volunteers que levantan la mano?
I
Ahí
often
está.
go running on Sunday.
Oh, perdón, ahí estaba Susana y Liduvina y Paola. Dígame, Susana.
I often go running on Sunday. 70% often frequently.
Muy bien, thank you. Liduvina.
I sometimes go to bed early. 16% sometimes.
And Paola?
25% occasionally. I constantly eat junk food.
Junk food.
Junk food.
What is junk food?
Junk food is, well, generally something that is not healthy. For example, hamburgers, pizzas, sodas, ice cream, things that are not good for the health.
Rápida.
No, that is fast food. Fast food is, something that you can get fast. Fast food, like you say, teacher, I don't have time. I'm going to go to Burger King, or I'm going to go to Pizza Hut. I don't know, right? That's something that you need fast. The difference between fast and junk is this. I'm going to explain it, okay? So fast food, okay, and junk food. Now, fast, when you say fast food, you're talking about time, okay? Something that you can get quick. Something you can get quick, okay? Algo que usted necesita ya. You are hungry, you want food, right? And junk food has to do with your health, right? Health, okay? Something that is not good for your health. Okay? So that's the difference.
Like when I don't want to cook the food.
Exactly. When you don't want to cook food, you said you get fast food,
yeah.
right? But junk food, I mean, it could be also fast food sells junk food, right? Las cadenas de comida rápida venden junk food. That's why we get confused. But junk food, it has to do with your health, right? It's something that is not good for your health. If you start eating pizza every single day, what is going to happen, guys? Imagine that you eat pizza every single day. What is going to happen? ¿Qué va a pasar? Jocelyn, tell me.
Is junk food?
Yeah, exactly. Pizza is junk food, right? And if you eat pizza every day, what is going to happen?
Every day is always.
Yes, pero
if
lo que
I,
quiero es
if
el
I
punto.
If I eat pizza every day, I'm going to, I don't know what I say, enfermarse.
Get sick, right? Exactly. Get sick, enfermarse. If you eat pizza every day, you get sick, right?
Yes.
That's why junk food is bad for the health. Por eso es que es mala para la salud, junk food. Y fast food es eso, comida rápida, junk food, comida chatarra. That's the difference. Obviously, las cadenas de comida rápida venden junk food, right? Entonces, but if you say fast food, estamos hablando de algo que usted obtiene rápido cuando no quiere cocinar, como le dijo su compañera. But junk food, right, estamos hablando de una categoría de comida, right? And that is the food that is not good for you, okay? So that's the difference, okay? What about the next one? ¿A dónde nos quedamos? Well, I think sometimes, right? Jocelyn?
5%, hardly ever, or rarely. I rarely play video games.
Okay, thank you. And never? Sarvia?
I never drink and drive.
Drive. I never drink and drive, right? And it's 0%, so we use never, right? Now, these are the different, how can I say, the different adverbs of frequency that we have, okay? Now that we know all of them, or the majority of them, oh, tell me, Jocelyn, I'm sorry.
No, sorry.
No, okay. So I was saying that now that we know the adverbs of frequency, right, it is important for us to know the position, right, that it takes, okay? Vamos a ver, ¿a dónde ustedes ven que están los adverbios de frecuencia? What is the position they take in the sentence?
They're the subject.
Muy bien, right? So they come after the subject and before the verb. So, en otras palabras, adverbs of frequency are between the subject and the verb. Pero una clave, chicos, para poder usarlas de forma negativa y en preguntas y en oraciones afirmativas es que el adverbio de frecuencia siempre va antes del verbo principal, always. The adverb of frequency goes before the main verb. And you will see, because we're going to practice a little bit today, right? And you're going to learn how to use them, okay? So, look. Miren esto, qué genial. We have now the position. Look, we have the subject, right? We have the adverb of frequency and we have the verb, which is called the main verb, okay? I'm going to share this with you. Oops, sorry. Give me one moment. Oh, and before I do that, guys, antes de hacer eso, I'm going to stop sharing because I'm going to take the screenshots, okay? So please, everyone, get ready for the screenshots. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, smile. There we go. Ahora recortamos. And thank you, guys. I'm going to leave this over here. Okay, excellent. So let's continue. I'm going to share it with you, okay? Very good. So what about the subject? Okay, in the second one, we begin here with the subject. And look, we have the auxiliary doesn't, which is the one that we learned how to use, right? This past week. I mean, this week, I'm sorry. And then we have the adverb of frequency. And look, ¿a dónde está? Before the main verb in the negative sentence. So the best thing to remember is that the adverb of frequency is always before the main verb. Marce, but what about the second one? Look, Steve is always happy and Ali can never find her keys. What is this? Well, when I'm using the verb to be, that is the only exception. Es la única excepción. Okay? So when we use the verb to be, it is after the verb to be. Está después del verb be. Okay? For example, I can say, hey, guys, I am always, okay, I am always on time, okay? I am sometimes, okay, I am sometimes sad. Son ejemplos, ¿verdad? She is usually angry, right? No le hablen, casi siempre anda enojada, dicen, ¿verdad? Then, what about this one? They are always in the same place. Como cuando los niños van al recreo, ¿se han fijado, verdad? Siempre se reúnen en una esquinita. So, they are always in the same place. Solamente, only when I use the verb to be, okay, I am going to use it like this. Va a ir después del verbo to be. That is the only exception, and also with modals. Pero con los modales no me voy a meter ahorita, okay? Entonces, these are like examples, okay? For you to know where you are going to use the adverbs of frequency. Le voy a pasar esto también. Bye. Okay, questions? ¿Preguntas, chicos? Questions? No questions?
No, it's clear.
Very good. Okay, so now we're going to practice a little bit, okay? Let's go ahead and practice a little bit with the exercise over here. Okay. Bye. So it says, my aunt listens always, always listened, listen always, or always listens. What do you think? Liudvina.
Always listen.
Muy bien, right? So actually it's always listens because it's third person singular, right? So my aunt always listens to music on her headphones. Very good. What about the next one? He only goes to the gym twice a year. He usually, rarely, often, or normally works out. What do you think?
Normally?
Normally, can I say normally? He says that he goes to the gym twice a year, 2 times a year.
Rarely.
Rarely?
Rarely.
Rarely, okay? Because only 2 times in a year, no, right? Solo el primero de enero y el último del año, right? What about the next one? What about this one? She eats never, often eats, never eats, or eats usually broccoli. She hates it.
He
Never eat.
Never.
Never eat.
Never eat.
Never eats, right? Broccoli. She hates it, right? What about this one, guys? They play tennis once a week. So they often, hardly ever, rarely, or never play tennis.
Often?
Often.
Often.
Can I say they
Often.
play tennis only once a week?
Rarely ever.
Early ever.
Oh,
Never.
Early ever.
no.
Oh,
No.
Rarely.
listen you.
Often,
Often.
right?
I told you often.
Then the next one. Oh, yes, it's true. Leila said often. Okay, what about my mother and daughter? Would fight. Ay, no, pero es que esta es diferente porque eso no lo íbamos a ver. This one. He walks never, walk normally, normally walks, or normally walk.
Normally
Normally
walks.
walk.
Normally
Normally
walk.
walk.
Normally works.
Normally walks to school by himself. What about this one? She's giving away her toys because she, what?
It's given-
Hardly ever plays.
Okay,
Early ever plays.
very good. Hardly ever plays, okay? What about this one? The girls.
Frequently go?
Frequently go.
Frequently go.
Frequently.
Frequently go, right? Frequently go shopping together. What about this one?
Yes, mommy.
Go. Ever.
Goes ever?
No sería occasionally goes.
Vamos a ver. Yes, right? He
Teacher,
occasionally goes fishing with his pair. Yes.
Ese means
teacher, what is this bird?
Ah, ok. Spear es como una lanza, algo con lo que atrapan a los pescados. Vaya,
ok.
chicos. ¿Quiénes bajaron Lingui? El diccionario que les compartí. Ok. Just don't forget, right, to use Lingui, right? Téngalo ahí a la mano, aunque algunos también tienen en el teléfono, ¿verdad? La clase. Pero spear es como un arpón, ¿verdad? Si usted se va a Lingui, ok, I'm going to look for it. Y nosotros incluimos aquí spare creo que era.
Yeah.
Ujú.
Yes.
Spear, tenemos acá lanza, arpón, jabalina y como verbo arponear, ¿verdad? That's why it's important that you have it handy. Hay que tenerlo a la mano, ¿verdad? Para que cuando usted vea una palabra que no conoce, ¿verdad? You can look for it, okay? Then, what about the next one? Breakfast time. Esa es con verbo to be, ¿no? Remember that with verb be is different.
Is usually basic.
Is basic usually?
Is usually basic.
Busy, right? The word, the adjective is busy, right? Busy. Busy is
Busy.
Ocupado.
Is usually
Usually
Yes.
basic. It is usually basic.
busy, right? It's usually busy.
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 Very good, right? It's usually busy. Why? Because verb be goes before the adverb frequency, ¿verdad? Vamos a ver, okay? Now let's go ahead and take a look at the word order, okay? So, let's go ahead and make up sentences, pero esta vez sí necesito que apaguemos todos los micrófonos y levantemos la mano para participar, ¿ok? Entonces, let's go ahead and work with the first one. Thank you, Liduvina. Luego Rodrigo, luego Joana. Liduvina.
She often play basketball.
Okay, she often play or plays basketball?
Plays.
Okay, very good, right? She often plays basketball. Thank you. Rodrigo, number 2.
We always have a lunch at 2 o'clock.
Muy bien. We always have lunch at 2 o'clock. Very good. Joanna, what about you?
They don't usually
They don't usually. Ahí vamos bien.
drink
Ujú.
for breakfast tea.
Hasta drink vamos bien.
Drink tea for breakfast.
Correct, exactly, right? So they don't usually drink tea for breakfast. Very good. What about the next one, Paola? Verb B.
Voy. He is normally late for class.
Very good, right? He is normally late for class, okay? Thank you. What about the next one, Jocelyn?
We are never on time.
Very good. Thank you very much. We are never on time. What about the next one, Flor Virginia?
They always have sugar in their coffee.
Very good. They always have sugar in their coffee. Okay, next, Sandra, what about you?
My parents don't often to the movies.
My parents often. Wait. Sorry. The negative is, the sentence is negative. La oración es negativa, ¿verdad? Entonces, volvámosla a formular.
My parents don't often to go the movies.
Pero si vemos la fórmula, ve ahí en WhatsApp. Ok, look at the formula, right? Dice que tenemos, si es negativa, tenemos un subject, auxiliary verb, ¿verdad? Y luego tenemos acá está. Dice subject, auxiliary.
Doesn't.
Ajá. Then the adverb frequency and the verb, right? Entonces, veamos nuevamente acá.
My parent doesn't.
No, pero aquí está don't.
Don't. Often. My parents don't often the movies.
Vaya, después de often va el verbo. ¿Cuál es el verbo?
To.
No.
Go.
Go, muy bien.
My parents often go to the movies too.
My parents don't often go to the movies. Ir al cine, go to the movies, right? My parents don't often go to the movies, right? So in this case, I always recommend seeing the structure, ¿verdad? Generally, to is a preposition, right? And it goes after the verb, or it can go at the end of a question, right? Okay, pero good job, okay? Then what
Okay.
about the next one, Brasilia?
I never
Mhm,
have
mhm.
have bad dreams.
Okay, very good. I never have bad dreams. Very good. What about the next one? Who's next? Remember, this is a question, right? And when we have, oh, I'm sorry. No sé si, creo que Brasilia tiene el micrófono abierto.
Okay.
Vaya, cuando son preguntas, when we have questions, okay, the position is the same. La posición del adverbio de frecuencia es el mismo, siempre va a ir antes del verbo, ¿ok? Entonces, when I have questions, and I'm going to open up here the information. Aquí está. Okay, here we have a question and we're going to begin with the auxiliary. Comenzamos con el auxiliary. Dígame, Sarvia.
Sería entonces B.
It's a question, es una pregunta.
Ok.
Yes.
Muy bien,
Sería
does.
that.
Does what?
Or yeah. That's Ben.
Mhm.
Listen
That's
to me
Ben.
sometimes. Listen, no. That's Ben.
Something Ben.
Sometimes
Sometimes
Sometime.
listen to rap music.
listen to rap music.
Very good. Okay. So, we learned how to make up questions this week. Aprendimos cómo hacer preguntas, ¿verdad? ¿Y qué tipo de pregunta es esta?
Frequently,
For me.
Yes or no?
Yes or no question. Very good, right? This is a yes, no question. And we begin with the auxiliary, subject, and you see, the adverb of frequency goes always before the main verb. No hay donde perderse. El adverbio de frecuencia siempre va a ir antes del verbo principal, or the main verb. So does Ben sometimes listen to rap music? We can say yes, he does, or no, he doesn't, right? What about here? You see? Does Ben sometimes listen to rap music, right? What about the next one? Verb to be.
Our are.
Oh, perdón, Diego, dígame.
Okay.
No se escucha, Diego. No, no se escucha, Diego. Dígame, Leila.
Our are. Usually.
Our are. Can I say our are?
I don't know.
No. No, right?
Sunday.
That Sunday.
Are.
No.
Our.
Sunday.
Are Sunday usually
Are. Are.
So, is that difficult, right?
They. At night.
Sunday,
Sunday. Our are usually at.
Jocelyn.
I think is Sunday.
Mhm.
Usually, uh, our games.
Very close, right? Is our Sunday games are usually at night, right? Our Sunday games are usually at night, right? Y estaba difícil, la verdad, okay? Our Sunday games are usually at night. Very good. So that's the end of it. And we're going to work with some sentences, okay? You're going to complete sentences using the adverbs of frequency. Okay, denme un momento. Ay, perdón, ese no es. Denme un momento. Okay. So here we have more examples, pero esto es más que todo para que ustedes tengan la información, right? Pero lo que quiero que hagamos son ejercicios, okay? I'm going to give you examples with, les daré ejemplos con verbs, ¿verdad? Y también con verb be, okay? Esos son como recordatorios, ¿verdad? De cómo lo vamos a usar, okay? Very good. So, you see? Ese cuadrito creo que es lo más importante, right? So always the adverb frequency goes before the verb, okay? And if it's verb be, the verb be is before the verb, I mean the adverb frequency, okay? So let's go ahead and write sentences about Paul, okay? So this girl is asking questions, okay? She's asking questions and Paul is answering, right? And here we have the information, okay? So do you ever play tennis? And he says, yes, often. So Paul often plays tennis. I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes for you to complete the rest of the sentences, and then we're going to check them together, okay? So that's gonna be 5 minutes, and your 5 minutes begin right now. Please follow the example. Siga el ejemplo, okay? Oops, no funciona. Bueno, 5 minutes. Son las y 45, las y 50 chequeamos. Don't worry.
That early.
Dice Leila, perdón, ready. What about the rest, guys? Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes, ready.
Very good, okay. Let's go ahead and check the first one. Diego, tell me.
He always get up early.
Get up
Early.
or gets up?
Gets up.
Very good,
Yes.
Ryan.
He always gets up early.
Very good. Okay, what about number 2? That is Paola.
He never late for work.
Okay, and the verb? ¿Y el verbo?
Oh, sorry. He never ever late for work.
Very good. Ahí está bien, solo nos hace falta el verbo. ¿Qué verbo necesitamos, Paola?
I don't know.
Okay,
Go.
it's a verb to be, right? It's a verb to be.
He is.
Muy bien.
He is never late for work.
Very good, right? He is never late for work. What about the next one, Sandra?
He sometimes get angry.
Gets what?
Angry.
Angry, right? So he
Angry.
sometimes gets angry, right? Very good. Number 5, Flor Virginia.
He rarely goes swims.
Okay,
Swims.
very good. He rarely goes swimming. And the last one, okay, volunteer for number 6.
He's usually at home in the evening.
Very good. He's usually at home in the evenings. Okay. Now, we will do one more. Vamos a hacer uno más, but not all of them. Not todas. Okay. I'm going to share with you these ones, these examples. Okay. Ya les comparto este ejemplo. Permitan. Acá. Ok, las que no van a hacer son las que están en azul. Number 4, number 8, number 9, number 10, number 13 and number 15. Luego el resto sí las vamos a hacer. ¿De acuerdo? Okay, so again, I will give you 5 minutes for you to complete it. Vamos a ver si sí funciona el reloj. Aunque cuando no funciona la primera, no funciona. Sí, no funciona. Bye. Ok, entonces, let's go ahead and give 5 minutes for you to complete the sentences. ¿Qué vamos a hacer? Vamos a seguir el ejemplo. My brother speaks to me. And between parentheses, you have never. So, my brother never speaks to me. Okay? Now you're going to continue with the rest. Continúe con las otras, pero las que no vamos a hacer son las que están con la rayita azul. Y también se la voy a compartir por WhatsApp, so you can check them there.
My brothers.
Let me know when you're ready, okay? You can let me know that through the chat. Ya tengo 3 ready. Okay, very good. What about the rest? Okay. Okay. Good. Solo déjenme y les preparo la actividad que sigue para que estemos listos. Ok, ahí voy, ahí voy, ahí voy. Solo quiero dejarles lista la siguiente actividad. Vaya, chicos, very good. So I can see that some of you already. What about the rest? Are you ready, guys? Raise your hand if you want to participate, okay? Esta vez vamos otra vez con manitas levantadas. So raise your hand if you want to participate with the rest of the activities. Okay, so Joanna Elizabeth, number 2. Repeat it.
Susan is always polite.
Polite, right? Susan is always polite. Thank you. Paola, next one.
I usually finish work at 5 o'clock.
Very good. I usually finish work at 5 o'clock. Lidovina, number 5.
I really well before midnight.
Okay, I rarely go to bed before midnight. What about number 6, Rodrigo?
The bus isn't usually late.
Very good. The bus isn't usually late. 7, Sandra.
I don't often eat fish.
Correct. I don't often eat fish. Very good. Flor Virginia, please.
They always stay in the same hotel.
Okay. Number 6 here and number 11. Muy bien. They always stay in the same hotel. Very good. Sarvia, number 12.
Jane doesn't usually work on the Saturday.
Muy bien. On Saturdays, right? Jane doesn't usually work on Saturdays. Very good. And the last one, I think it's Jocelyn.
What do you usually have for breakfast?
Very good. What do you usually have for breakfast? Excellent, guys. Good job. Okay, with auxiliaries. Now, as you can see, it's very easy to use them. ¿Por qué fácil, Marce? Porque yo sé que siempre van a ir antes del verbo principal, ya sea en oraciones afirmativas, negativas o preguntas, ¿ok? Así que right now, guys, I'm going to move you to the breakout rooms. Okay, please go to your chats. I'm going to share with you right now a set of questions, okay? A ver. You can add more questions if you want, okay? And the questions are the following questions. Okay. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Por qué no se fue? Wait. Este siempre es para especificar que vamos al breakout room. Guys, les están cayendo los mensajes.
Yes, no, teacher.
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Ah, pues yo no los puedo ver.
Yo tampoco.
Ajá, yo no los puedo ver.
Yes, teacher.
But do you receive the questions? ¿Ya recibieron las preguntas?
Yes.
Very
11
good.
question.
Okay, aquí en línea sí me aparece que ya las tienen, ¿ve? Okay, so here you have the questions, okay? And what you're going to do right now is that you will go to the breakout rooms and you're going to interview your classmates, okay? But you can add more questions. Usted puede agregar muchas más preguntas, okay? Con how often, right? So I'm going to make the breakout rooms right now. Just give me one moment. ¿Cuántos estamos ahorita? 22. Vámonos entonces con 3. Ok, 7 por 3, 21.
But only study the question.
You're going,
We are going to answer.
right now you're just going to interview your classmates. Solo van a entrevistarse entre ustedes.
Okay.
But you don't have to write anything, okay?
Okay.
Yes. Let me see. Solo uno me queda de 4. Ok, de ahí the rest. Bueno, hagamos uno más. Añadir una sala. And I'm going to move 2 of you there. Move to sala 8. Move to sala 8. Vaya, chicos. Let's go to the breakout rooms, por favor. Let's take advantage of the time, ¿verdad? Aprovechemos ahí para conversar con nuestros compañeros. Move to the breakout rooms, please. Vamos, vamos, vamos. Let's go to the breakout rooms. Let's go, guys. Vamos, vamos, que hay unos compañeros que ya están esperando por ustedes, ¿ok? Go to the breakout rooms. Let's go, let's go. Me faltan 3 aún. Vamos, chicas. Vamos, vamos. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Teacher, no me aparece para unirme a los grupos.
Okay. Hello, teacher.
Hi.
I have a question
Yes.
with my companion.
Oli. Hi.
In this sentences, how often do you go to the cinema?
Yes, I
¿Es
usually go to
necesario
cinema.
utilizar often para responder o otro adverbio?
La pregunta es con how often, qué tan, con qué frecuencia, right? No,
¿Con
you
qué
can answer
frecuencia?
with any adverb, right? So if you
Okay.
ask me, for example, hey, Marce, how often do you go to the movies? My answer will be, I rarely go to the movies because I don't go to the movies generally, right? So I rarely go to the movies. You can use a different adverb with the question how often, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Okay.
Okay, entonces.
Okay, le pregunto a Adriana. Number 2, how often do you play soccer? Adriana.
I always to play soccer.
Okay. Le pregunto, Celina.
Yes.
Yes, 2. How often do you play soccer?
I rarely goes to play soccer.
Okay. Ahora a mí.
Sandra,
How often,
perdón.
how often do you play soccer?
No. Never. Never play soccer.
Ahora yo pregunto a Diana. How often do you exercise?
I don't never do exercise.
Okay.
Ahora yo pregunto, Sandra, how often do you exercise?
No. Never do exercise. Celina, le pregunto.
Occasionally, fast food. And you, Rodrigo?
I eat occasionally. Occasionally. Fast food. I prefer homemade food.
Yes.
Okay, the next question
How
is,
often do you watch movies, Jocelyn?
I frequently watch the movies.
Yes. And you, Rodrigo?
In your case, Wendy?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
What is the question?
And how often do you?
¿Sí o no? Bueno, creo. Ay, that's t-shirt.
Hi.
Hi, t-shirt.
Hi.
How are you doing, guys? Are you practicing?
Yes.
Very good. Excellent. Continue.
Okay. How often do you to the cinema?
I usually go to cinema.
Okay. How often do you play soccer?
I never played the soccer.
Okay. How often do you exercise?
I rarely.
Oh, really? Okay. How often do you play video games?
Never.
Never. Okay. How often do you go running?
Rarely.
Okay. How often do you go to up?
Never.
Never. Okay. How often do you eat fast food?
Rarely.
Really? Okay. How often do you watch movies?
Um, Rarely watch the movie.
Okay. How often do you eat seafood?
¿Qué otra cosa? Okay. Start again for practice.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. I lost the questions. How often do you go to the cinema?
I rarely, ¿cómo es? Aquí lo he dicho. Rarely go to the cinema. How often do you go to the cinema?
I
Flor?
usually go to the cinema if the movie is interesting.
Okay.
How often do you play soccer?
I usually play soccer. I like. And how often do you play soccer, Flor?
I never play soccer. I am really
I always listen to the music. Listen to music.
Okay.
Serbia.
I
No, yo le pregunto.
I always listen to music.
Okay.
Teacher, ya terminamos de preguntarnos todas entre las tres, por eso estamos haciendo tres preguntas nuevas.
Great, no problem. That's the idea. Ahí les puse que solo me faltan 2 salones por revisar ya. Ya termino, okay? Ya
Okay.
when I finish, I'm going to take you back to the main room. So you can continue asking other questions, no problem.
Okay.
Joana, entonces.
Please.
Often do you vacation?
I never have a vacation. I never have a vacation. You have a vacation?
Me, never.
You never?
Vacation.
And you-
Y mire, yo mis ratitos libres, pues yo me pongo a ver videos de cosas así en inglés. Y a veces, mire, últimamente quiero aprender bastante vocabulario.
Yo,
Por-
Very good. So welcome back. Ya están regresando todos. Me faltan algunos aún, ¿ok?
okay.
I'm going to wait for the rest of the students, right, to go back. Ya faltan solo como 15 seconds, okay? Ya vienen. Ahí está. Vaya, chicos, thank you so much for joining the breakout rooms. Now, observations. Vámonos a las observaciones, okay? Well, first of all, right, I would like to congratulate you because you are doing a great job, ¿verdad? Hoy lo hicieron muchísimo mejor, ¿verdad? Escuché pues que la mayoría estaba entrevistándose unos a otros y también quiero felicitar a los que fueron y a los y las que fueron la vía extra, ¿verdad? The extra mile, que empezaron a hacer preguntas distintas a las del cuestionario, right? Terminaron el cuestionario y luego empezaron a hacerse preguntas, a crear preguntas, right? Asking for other, pieces of information. Now, when I was listening to you guys, estaba escuchándoles, ¿verdad? Y hubo una parte en la que escuché never con oraciones negativas, ¿ok? ¿Qué pasa con never y en the negative sentences, ¿verdad? Si yo digo never, o perdón, si yo quiero usar never automáticamente convierte mi oración en una oración negativa. Entonces, por ahí escuché un I don't never go to the movies, por ejemplo. Entonces, yo no puedo decir I don't never go to the movies, right? ¿Por qué no puedo decir eso? Porque la oración ya de por sí es negativa. Entonces, con que yo diga I never go to the movies is enough. I never go to the movies, pero no puedo decir I don't never go to the movies, ¿verdad? Entonces, siempre, ¿verdad? Usamos never, convertimos la oración en una oración negativa. Okay. Then, the second observation, ¿verdad? Is related to subjects, ¿verdad? Estaba escuchando oraciones en donde no habían subjects. Por ejemplo, le preguntaba, un ejemplo, ¿verdad? Preguntaba, do you play soccer? Y la respuesta era never play soccer. Pero who? ¿Quién, verdad? I never play soccer. Or she never plays soccer, right? O por ejemplo, si le preguntan, do you take a shower every day, or how often do you take a shower? And you say always take a shower. Pero, ¿y el sujeto? I always take a shower, ¿verdad? So we have to be careful with the subjects that we use. The structure, las estructuras, dar oraciones completas. Recordemos de que cuando estamos respondiendo debemos dar oraciones completas. And then in number 3, la número 3, questions, que es la última observación. When we make up questions, make sure that you add the auxiliary. ¿Ok? Por ejemplo, ese es un ejemplo de lo que escuché, ¿verdad? Siempre con play soccer, ¿verdad? And you play soccer, ¿verdad? Algo así fue la pregunta, pero no fue solo en un room, lo escuché en varios breakout rooms, ¿verdad? And you play soccer. ¿Puede ser esta una pregunta, chicos? Is that a question?
No.
No, ¿verdad? It's not a question. ¿Qué me hace falta?
The verb filler.
¿De what?
The verb
Do,
al inicio, el verbo to be al inicio.
No, no. O sea,
I does,
ah,
simple present.
okay.
Entonces sería do o does.
Exactly. And do you play soccer? That is a question. De lo contrario, si yo le digo a la persona, and you play soccer, no le estoy haciendo una pregunta, sino que le estoy diciendo una afirmación, que esa persona juega fútbol. Right? Es una afirmación, pero si yo lo que quiero hacerle es una pregunta, and do you play soccer? Right? Siempre que hacemos una
Teacher,
pregunta,
are
dígame.
you se puede utilizar?
Pero es que are es el verbo to be, ¿verdad? Por
Pero,
ejemplo,
teacher,
si yo voy, permítame, solo le voy a contestar a Sandra. But if I ask, aquí no puedo usar verbo to be, Sandra, porque mi verbo principal es play. Solo necesito algo que me ayude para hacer mi pregunta con play. Ahora bien, if I ask, for example, si yo de repente entro al breakout room y me encuentro con alguien que no lo he visto o que nunca lo había escuchado en la clase, ¿verdad? Entonces, y le pregunto, hey, and are you in this class? Mira, ahí estás en esta clase, ¿verdad? No te has equivocado, ¿ok? And are you in this class? Entonces, lo que sucede con el verbo to be es que he escuchado personas que dicen, and le dicen a la otra persona, and you are in this class, ¿verdad? And you are in this class. Aquí tampoco es una pregunta, porque yo le estoy afirmando que esa persona está en esta clase. Pero si yo digo, and are you in this class? Aquí sí. Hay algo del verbo to be. Verb to be, yo le llamo el chico independiente, the independent guide, al verbo to be, porque él solito puede hacerse positivo, negativo y pregunta. Entonces solamente lo convierto en pregunta al cambiarle, ¿verdad? La posición. Si hago una pregunta, él pasa al principio. And are you in this class? Are you a student? Are you a teacher? Right? Are you a doctor? Right? Entonces, no sé si Paola me quería preguntar algo.
sí, yo tengo una duda. Bueno, dos. Una es de que en estas oraciones se le puede poner, por ejemplo, are you often in this class? ¿O no?
Vaya, vamos a ver, ¿qué dicen los demás? ¿Puedo decir, are you often in this class?
I don't know.
What do you think?
Yes, porque often es cada cuánto.
Okay.
No. Sí, ¿verdad?
Okay.
Often.
Often, right? So whenever, here we are talking about, ¿cómo les puedo decir? We're talking about adverbs of frequency with other verbs. Aquí están mezclando dos temas, ¿verdad? Me están mezclando el tema del presente simple con el verbo to be y están mezclando el presente simple con el resto de los verbos, ¿verdad? Entonces, cuando nosotros usamos el resto de los verbos, ahí es donde generalmente pues entran el verb be. Now, for example, if I ask, are you always on time? Right? It's correct, right? Are you often on time for the class? Creo que la pregunta era la que creo que no la había entendido, Paula, pero you can use them. Sí se puede. ¿Ok? Entonces, solo que ya estas preguntas las estamos armando con verb be. Siempre presente simple, pero ya con el verbo to be. Generalmente no hay un tema.
¿Cómo dijo? Es que no escuché bien.
Vaya, Paula, es que me está mezclando dos temas, le decía. No hay, cuando nosotros hablamos de gramática, no hay un tema que nos explique, ¿verdad? La parte del del verbo to be, ¿verdad? Entonces, sí puede hacer este tipo de preguntas tal cual, ¿verdad? Pero no va a encontrar en ningún lado un tema específico sobre eso. Porque generalmente los adverbios de frecuencia los vamos a usar con el resto de los verbos. Algunas veces con el verbo to be. No sé si respondo a su pregunta.
Sí, es que lo que pasa es que en el ejemplo anterior, donde sale Paul, Paul contesta con yes often. Y la chica le dijo con do you play soccer?
Do you
Algo
often
así.
play soccer?
Ajá. Entonces ahí es como que me confundió un poco.
Sí, las respuestas que le daban allí solo le daba dos detalles. Primero, al decir yes, que la oración era afirmativa. Y al poner el often a la par, que tenía que usar often dentro de la oración afirmativa. No es que él estaba contestando así, sino que el ejercicio era que le daba dos detalles para que usted armara una oración afirmativa usando often.
Ok.
Vaya. Any other question, guys? ¿Alguna otra pregunta? No questions?
No.
No question.
Very good. Vaya. Entonces, con la parte de questions, ¿verdad? Just be careful that every time you're asking questions, you are including the auxiliary, okay? Also, give complete answers. Demos respuestas completas, incluyendo los subjects, ¿verdad? And we do not mix never con don't, ¿verdad? No usamos don't ni doesn't con never, porque él solito hace la oración negativa. So, guys, I'm going to stop here, okay, because it's time. But tomorrow we're going to join, ¿verdad? And remember that next week we have vacation. Well, vacation, because si es padre o madre de familia, pues casi no hay vacación, ¿verdad? But we're going to have vacation next week, ¿verdad? Y pues mañana sería la última clase de la semana y de ahí nos vemos hasta la próxima semana, el 7 de agosto, ¿verdad? Así que, guys, thank you very much for joining. Have a wonderful day y lo hicieron súper bien hoy, ¿ok? Take care. You're welcome.
Thank you, teacher.
Teacher,
La
una pregunta.
captura, espérense.
Ajá, eso iba a decir, es que yo dije, aquí falta algo.
Obvio. Vaya, ahí está. Gracias, chicos. Vaya, todos sonriendo, pues. 1, 2, 3. Eso. Vaya, chicos, hoy sí. You can go. ¿Ok?
See you, teacher.
Bye, bye, guys. Cuídense hoy.
Bye bye, teacher.
Bye, teacher.
Bye bye.
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 Bye, bye, guys.